Now here's a familiar face. James Phelps, half of, probably the best, most well-known brotherly double act in recent film history. You're a massive golfer, James, and I will call you James because I bet a lot of people know you more by your Harry Potter character, who is, of course, or was...
It was Fred Weasley.
No more, of course.
No more.
Died in the Battle of Hogwarts.
He did, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. So just in case J.K. Rowling resurrects the whole thing, you're toast.
As it stands, but you never know. There's a lot of magic which goes on, I guess.
I suppose maybe there's a magic potion to Lazarus style, raising from the dead. But you're really into your golf, aren't you, I hear?
Yeah, I am. I really enjoy it. Yep.
Any good, honestly?
No. I'm a try. It's a work in progress at the moment. I had 3 pars and a triple bogey, so double bogey.
Now, I'll let you into a secret. I saw your brother earlier today, and I said to him, "Are you any good?" He goes, "Not really." I said, "What's your plan today?" He said, "One simple plan: got to beat my brother."
Yeah, that's about right.
Same for you?
My plan as well. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. He seemed to intimate he normally has the edge.
He does, but he kind of can't keep it together going down the 16th, 17th. That's when his card normally falls apart. So I'm looking at that one today.
Fantastic. Now listen, how's life treating you? You've been on an absolute marathon with the Potter films, haven't you? Started 14, is that right? Age 14?
Yeah, we started age 14 and we finished when we were, the last premiere we were 25. Since then I've done a bit of TV stuff, and now I'm off to do some stuff on stage, which is really fun. So yeah, it's all still ticking over. That's
going to be really good. So you are in that process of ridding yourself of that Weasley character, because you know when you've been in that role for so long, I guess it's not going to happen overnight, is it? Where you shake off that character.
Not so much. I mean, it's easy because obviously we lose the ginger hair dye.
Yeah. Nothing wrong in that, by the way.
No, that's nothing wrong with that. But we're helping. It's kind of helped in that sense.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. So, although obviously we all know who you are, you're not as recognisable because you do actually look quite a bit different.
Yeah.
From that magical Weasley, huh?
Yeah. At the moment, though, when I first started growing my beard, it's like it actually came through ginger.
Right.
Which, I wasn't sure if the hair dye would run into my veins, kind of thing. But it was it's weird if I wear a baseball cap or something, and normally people recognise me more. So
is that right?
Yeah, it's quite interesting what hair colour can do.
Do you know, you mentioned ginger hair, and here we are on a golf course, and that reminds me, your friend and indeed fictional brother, Rupert Grint, he's massively into his golf, isn't he?
He is, yeah, he is, and Tom Felton is, who's another guy from Potter. Yeah, we normally have a 4-ball every so often, so yeah, they're quite into it as well.
And it's all straight, no magic tricks?
Not at the moment.
Now, you have been lucky enough to have been in films with probably the great and the good of British acting, haven't you? Anybody who's anybody has been in these Potter films. I won't ask you for too many stories, but it just must have been a crazy and fantastic 10 years or so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were, like you say, very fortunate to work with some of the best that Britain has to offer. And not only was it great to watch them, but a lot of those guys were very keen to show us if we had any questions or anything, because we were essentially learning on the job. So they were very keen to show us, if we had any questions, they could fill us in on what to do, how to prepare for a scene, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to get training, I think they're the kind of people to get it off.
I mean, I'm sure you're very confident now. 8 films weren't there under your belt, but when you started as a 14-year-old, you're working alongside people like Richard Harris, for goodness sake, and then obviously, everybody. I'm just trying to think of certain names. Jim Broadbent.
Yeah.
Come on, help me out.
Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith, Robert Coltrane, Gary Oldman, Mark Williams, Julie Walters. Goes on and on. So
Ranulph, Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes, yeah.
And you said Ranulph Fiennes. That would have been interesting. So, I mean, that's just a magnificent cast to work alongside. Were you intimidated at first?
At first, I was just really nervous of everything, from seeing the big cameras going on to having all the crew working around you. It was a bit intimidating to start with, but once you get used to it, it's fine, really. It comes second nature.
And when you got hold of the final book, tell me what happened here. You presumably you got hold of the book and read it.
Yep.
And towards the end, you realise that one Fred Weasley dies heroically at the Battle of Hogwarts, and you put the book down and thought, hold on a minute, that's me.
Yeah, no, I actually read that. I was in Japan, and I was doing some travelling, and I was on the bullet train in Japan, and the English version was out there. So I was reading it on the train, and as I read what happened to my character, it was actually when the ticket inspector came around and started asking for tickets, but he couldn't speak English and I can't speak very good Japanese, so I was kind of trying to tell him, I've just died here, can you give me a minute? So it was kind of one of those surreal situations, but it was quite odd reading it, but yeah, it was interesting.
I suppose if you're going to die, you may as well die in the last book, in the last film.
Better than the first one.
Fantastic. So, I mean, it's weird and wacky and wonderful how you and your brother have both shared that experience. I mean, being identical twins. Are you identical twins, by the way?
Yeah, technically we are.
Are you? Which one's the older?
He's the older by 13 minutes.
13 minutes,
hence
okay.
all the wrinkles and everything, I guess.
Yeah, he looks like the older brother, yeah. So you've shared all of this as well. So, I mean, is there a market for identical twin brothers?
I hope so. I'll let you know.
I mean, there was one Social Network.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. We actually saw that script and everything before we did it, but unfortunately, due to plotter commitments, we couldn't pursue the roles any further.
Fantastic.
Than that,
so you should be able to clean up on all identical brothers roles for the next 15, 20 years, hopefully.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Fantastic. Are you also going to do your own thing though as well? You mentioned stage.
Yep. I'm doing stage on my own. I did a show at the start of the year, which was my first stage experience, but thoroughly enjoyed it. And so yeah, hopefully that's something I'll pursue further.
Okay, but today it's all about Rugby for Heroes.
Yep.
And all about you making a good account of yourself on the golf course and beating your brother.
Trying to beat my brother's the best thing, but I met some of the guys from the Rugby for Heroes and under the post or over the post charity, and they were fantastic guys. Really were inspirational. So it was a great way to raise money for such a great causes.
All right, James. Well, listen, good to meet you. Congratulations on a. I mean, you're still so young, but fantastic career so far. And hope you sink a few putts today.
Thank you.